Hey guys, Nathan here from Morris Method. Now within this video, I'm going to be going over 10 reasons why I think it's a really good idea for you to be tracking your food. If your goal is weight loss, if you feel like you're already trying to move all these different needles, you're trying to eat healthier, maybe you're trying to eat less, maybe you're fasting, or maybe you're exercising a whole bunch to try and get some weight loss to happen, or improve your fitness even more with the food that you're eating. If that sounds like you, these are 10 reasons why I highly suggest you to track your food on a regular basis. Point number 1 out of 10 is going to be the Horthawne effect. Okay, if you can measure it, you can manage it, which means you can then look towards progress, right? If you can measure it, you can manage it. So the Horthawne effect is just improvement via management. So if you think that someone's watching, even yourself when you're managing it, you're going to see a natural sense of improvement. If you have to write things down, there is a natural sense of improvement because you know someone's watching, or it could even be just yourself if you're just working with yourself. But that would be my point number 1, is there is just a natural sense of improvement just because you are measuring it, therefore you can manage it. That's my point number 1. My point number 2, if you're wondering whether you should track your food or not, is it gives you a sense of daily, if not even weekly, self-reflection. And self-reflection is so important when it comes to weight loss and when it comes to improvement with your fitness, how you look, how you feel. Self-reflection is really important. If you track your food, you're going to be more inclined to continually self-reflect, or at least in my experience with the clients that I work with, the ones that do track their food, you're going to find that they self-reflect more frequently, and by doing self-reflection, they are thinking about how they're feeling and thinking about, okay, am I on path or am I off path? Am I doing what I need to be doing, or should I be shifting gears and trying to do something else? That is my point number 2 as to why I think it's a really good idea to be tracking your food if you have goals like weight loss. Weight loss is already emotional enough, or if you're trying to lose body fat and you're trying to shape up and really look the part for whatever reason it may be, is that there's a lot of changes that you're going to have to make. You're doing X, Y, and Z right now, and you want to be over here. Well, there's a certain changes that you would need to be making to get there. Now, by tracking your food, you can be less emotional about those changes, right? So if you don't track, well, then you're kind of walking blind, right? You're like, I think I should do this, and I think I should do this, which does work, and there are absolutely ways that you can do it. But you find that if you are tracking your food, you don't have to be so emotional about it, right? So meaning that you can just go, cool, okay, what I'm doing right now is X, Y, and Z. That's not working for me. I'm going to move these couple of needles, and then let's try that and see how we go. Allows you to be a little less emotional about your changes, and that's my point number 3. Okay, point number 4, 5, and 6. Number 4 is makes you think about when you're eating. Number 5 makes you think about how much you're eating. Number 6 is makes you think about what you're eating. So when, how much, and what you are eating becomes so important if your goal is weight loss or fat loss, body composition changes. It is absolutely important that you understand those 3 things. So 4, 5, and 6, all different, but all very wrapped up together. How much you're eating, when you're eating, and what you are eating is absolutely critical. And by tracking your food, you can see all of those things, okay? Are you eating too regularly? Does that work for you? Or is it better to have maybe space out some time that you are eating or when you're not eating? Maybe the second part is quality of your food. Are you eating good food, or you look at your diary, or you look at your log, and you're just eating shit, and you're trying to make them stick within a calorie meter? That's also not a good thing to have. Or how much are you eating just in general? So even if you're really healthy and you're eating all this nutritious food that's really good for you and you feel amazing, if you're not seeing your body fat drop, well, how much are you eating? All these 3 things are really closely related, by the way. So 4, 5, and 6 is really quite important. And these are big enough reasons on their own, let alone the 10 that I'm giving you right now, to be tracking your food. But they make it just so much more sense. You know when you're eating, you know what you're eating, and you know how much you're eating. Those are 4, 5, and 6. That should be enough convincing for you if you're someone who's already working on these things to continue either tracking your food or get a little bit religious about it. Okay, by tracking your food, you get to see either positive or negative trends over time. Okay, so if you're tracking things like your photos and your weight, if you're tracking your food, you get to see what your trend is. Are you trending towards where you want to go, or you're trending to maybe somewhere where you don't want to be going? Okay, but tracking allows you to see what your trend is. Are you trending towards your goal over a 4, 5, 6 week period, or are you getting nowhere close? Are you going the other direction? Here's my point number 7 as to why I think it's a great idea to track is you get to see your trends over time. It just allows you to see more of the stuff that you're doing. Point number 8 is daily and weekly, really, accountability. If you have X, Y, and Z goals in regards to maybe it's calories, maybe it's protein, maybe it's fat, maybe it's carbohydrates, maybe it's micronutrient goals that you have involved in all of your little program that you're doing, it gives you accountability. Are you hitting your targets? If you're not hitting your targets, you know what needle to move, you know what sort of things that you should be doing, but it keeps you accountable. Do you need to meal prep? Okay, are you someone who can't just fly by the seat of your pants because you're too busy at work? Do you need to do meal prep and allow yourself to track your food so that you can kind of prep as to what your goals are? So that would be my point number 8, is it holds you accountable. If you have to eat something, if you're going to eat something, you've got to then go through another process to then log it, to then make sure it fits within your goals. Just gives you a secondary thought of, rather than I see that food and go, I'd really love that food, and just go and have it. It gives another layer of accountability. Okay, even if someone's not watching what you're eating and sort of telling you and coaching you as to what to do, you just, by you tracking, this is stopping, and this is another layering approach that you can do to create some accountability for yourself, which when we want to lose weight, when we want to gain fitness, when we want to change our life in this sort of manner, accountability goes a really long way. And really that's what I do as a living, right? As a coach, is accountability. Keeping people accountable is a big part of the whole game. Okay, now point number 9 is kind of like what your trends are doing, but what targets do you need to be set? Okay, so when you track yourself, when you track your food really regularly and meticulously, you can see what you're currently doing, and you get to see what targets you need to be setting. Am I really low on something and I need to try and bring something up? But it allows you to set actual targets, and that's really quite important. You need to have something to aim for. If you haven't got something to aim for, well then a lot of the time you just go through a very reductive mindset, which can be good sometimes, but also can be the failure of a lot of people, where they just go, I'll eat less of this and less of this, and I don't eat this and I don't eat this, and they think this healthy realm of losing weight, losing body fat is just a reduction of everything and eat nothing at all. Well then, you're eventually going to get over that, and you're not going to be able to find what it is that actually allowed you to move in the direction that you wanted to. Okay, so it allows you to move the target shifts. Okay, allows you to shift what your target is for that week, for that maybe month, depends on where you are struggling, but at least allows you to see what it is that you need to move, which I think this is all really important for everyone, is it allows you to plan for social events. And that's a real big plus for a lot of my clients, okay? Some clients have to go to more extremes with their diet than others, but I find that if you get to track your food, you do get to plan in advance, or you get to make up for it, okay? So maybe, a social event got the better of you, and you did all of X, Y, and Z, and maybe it was even a memory log, and obviously you probably weren't even tracking diligently anyway. It allows you to kind of think about it. You go over what happened, what you think happened, and then you can try to manipulate the next, say, coming days or week to try and make up for it or amend it, right? Or if you're ahead of the game, which is the key, it allows you to plan for social events. So tracking your food, while you're probably not going to be doing it forever, and I really wouldn't expect anyone to be doing it forever. I don't want to be doing it forever, but it is a great tool to be ensuring that you know what you're doing, and allows you to plan your social events. Where are you going to go out to dinner? How much are you going to have on that night? Have you got the room for it? Right? Have you done the work that week to then make sure you can go and relax on the weekend? Allows you to find out all of those different things. And it realistically just, again, goes back to point number 1, which is just, if you can measure it, you can manage it, right? So these are my 10 reasons as to why I think it's a great idea to be tracking your food. I find it really helpful. I don't do it all the time, and I'm not religious about it, but when I'm gonna do it, I do it properly, and I get the information that I need, I make the needle shifts that I need, get the result that I'm looking for, and then I obviously veer back into a maintenance phase or something the equivalent, okay? So if you think that if you haven't tried tracking beforehand and you're already training and you're doing all these things, try tracking. It's really quite amazing. I think it's a great skill, allows you to learn about food, allows you to learn about the diet that you're currently on, which is your diet, and allows you to just see if you can make any improvements all on your own. Anyway, that's my opinion. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, feedback, let me know. Put them down in the comments. Otherwise, I'll see you here next time. Bye.